my name is Ugochi Vivian Uka. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here. If you haven't subscribed, please click on the subscribe button before the end of this video. And if you have, thank you so much for doing so. Please also click on the like button or the thumbs up button for this video. Okay, thank you. So today I want to talk about something that people have been asking me about for a very long time now, and that is finding an academic supervisor. So for people who want to continue their studies, whether it's for master's degree or PhD or postdoc, less so for masters, because for masters most of the time your school kind of matches you, but for PhD and postdoc training you would need an academic supervisor. So I want to share some tips on how to find an academic supervisor. Number one tip: search for job advertisements. So you can search on the department pages of the school that you want to go to. A lot of PhD and postdoc opportunities are advertised as jobs. So if you search the websites of the department or faculty or just general university search on for jobs, you might be able to find some things that are relevant to you, some job opportunities, some postdoc and PhD opportunities that are relevant to you. You can also use academic websites. They have different ones for different courses. So for me, I'm in epidemiology public health. There is a website called Epidemiology Monitor. I also use University Affairs sometimes to search for positions, and they have different types of academic websites depending on the country you're in as well, and even general job websites like I think Indeed.com sometimes shows some advertised positions. So if you search there, you might find something, and if you apply, you might get interviewed and you might even get the job. So, and the job being the PhD position or the postdoc position. So don't rule that out. I would say definitely search job sites and university websites. So that's my number one tip. Number two, I would say that you should also search, reference search for people. Like, so if you find somebody who advertised a job position for a PhD, so in this video I'm going to be saying job a lot, but what I mean is PhD position or postdoc position. So if you find somebody who advertises one, but you don't happen to get into the program, or you don't think that person is a perfect fit for you, you can also search their publications to see who they collaborated with in their previous publications or their grants, just to see the kind of people they work with. And then you might find somebody else who does similar research that you might be more appropriate with, working with. It might be more appropriate for you to work with. So that's another way. So you citation search the person, the same way when you're looking for studies and you get a study of interest, you search the references of that study for other studies. So that's the same thing here, the same kind of notation. When you find somebody that is of potential interest to you, search their publication list. A lot of department websites will list some selected publications of that professor, so you can search on their list and see who they've collaborated with, who their co-authors have been, and then you can use that to contact the co-authors or check the websites or pages of the co-authors to see if they have any opportunities or opening. Number three, instead of waiting for a job, for a postdoc job or PhD job to be advertised, you can by yourself just Google the schools that you want to attend, that you have interest in, go to their department website, the department that you're interested in, check the list of faculty, and then look at the professors in that department and look for the ones that you're interested in that share similar research interests as you, and then just cold email them. So because sometimes the thing is, when you see a job already advertised, it's possible that that job was advertised for somebody else. Maybe they had somebody else in mind, so you might not get it. I'm not saying that that's the case for all jobs. I mean, there are people who have gotten positions that were advertised and they didn't know anybody. It probably wasn't for anybody in mind, but you don't know what the case might be. So what you can do is just cold email people. So what I mean by cold email someone is just send an email introducing yourself, say that you're interested in working with them. You see that they do this research on you, you've done this kind of research before, or you would like to do this kind of research. This is your experience, you're willing to learn more. This is your CV. You copy and attach your CV and you say, I'm willing to discuss further with you. Can we set up a meeting? I've done that, and actually I did that a lot when I was applying for my PhD program. So it's another way to find an academic supervisor, and who knows, it might just get you where you want to be. Also, another tip with that is when you email somebody, if they say, oh, I don't have funding, sorry, I'm not taking anybody right now, you can also ask them, do you know anybody who might be taking somebody? I did that during my PhD, and that's how I found my PhD supervisor actually. So you can ask them, do you know anybody? And they can say, oh yeah, actually I know somebody. This person just got grant. This person is looking for somebody. And those people may not have advertised the position yet. So that's where you could jump in, because then you'll be the first to know, and then you can quickly email them and introduce yourself. And when you do so, you can just say, this person told me to email you, and that might help you to get position. By the way, when you do something like that, when somebody else says this person is hiring or looking for somebody, be careful before saying Mr. X told me to email you, because if Mr. X doesn't know you very well, and then the Mr. Y that you're emailing goes to ask Mr. X, and they're like, no, I don't really know the person, I just said they should ask you, it might not come off very well. So make sure that you frame the email well enough. Make sure that you're not claiming to know Mr. X. You can just say, I contacted Mr. X and Mr. X said that I should contact you. Don't say, oh, don't act as if Mr. X was your previous boss or you've worked with Mr. X before. Just you can mention the name in the email, but just make it very simple. That's what I'm saying. Tip number 4, conferences. I can't tell you how important it is to attend conferences, to network at conferences, to present at conferences, because that's where you will meet a lot of people. People that know people, people that have worked with people, and even sometimes just even presenting your own work. Somebody else might come to approach you, a potential supervisor can come and be like, oh yeah, I like your work, we do this kind of work, maybe we can collaborate. People have met their supervisors that way, by presenting. And also if your own supervisor, if somebody presents and you like the person's work, or you attended a workshop in the conference and you like their own work, you can also go and be like, oh, I like your work, I'm also interested in this, do you have time to talk, to chat, I would love to work with you, and hopefully if you can supervise me, that would be great. That's also a great way to network. So please, if you have the opportunity, make sure you submit abstracts, you register for conferences. Unfortunately now, during the pandemic, we don't have in-person conferences, so networking is a little more difficult, but a lot of conferences have become creative with the online resources, because now conferences are online, and there are also ways to connect. So they do professional network activities, they do things where virtual, like meet and greet, so you can register for all those things and still chat up people. And then even just writing an email to somebody during or after the conference saying, hey, well, not hey, but good day, I heard you speak, I liked the way at this conference, I enjoyed your talk, I would like to do something like that, can we talk about it? I have done that several times and I still do it, and that's a good way to meet people, and you don't know where that will bring you. And even if that person doesn't end up supervising you, the person might link you up with somebody else that might supervise you. So please try as much as possible to attend conferences and just try to network at conferences. There are people who go for conferences and they don't say a word to anybody. They say they are shy. No, to each his own, but I'm telling you, conference is a good way. I've gotten good opportunities from there, so that would be one of my top tips for you. And then number 5, connection. Let me tell you, it's not only in Nigeria that connection works. Connection works everywhere. Okay, connection for almost every field that you know. Knowing somebody always helps. The way I found my some of my supervisors was through connection, like talking to somebody that I already knew, and then the person says, "Oh, I think this person will be a good fit for you." And then you say, "Oh, can you please write an introductory email for me?" So they write on your behalf and email you. Or if they don't have time to write email, you can write and then say, and then mention their name as I said earlier. But this time around is different because you actually know the person X that is referring you. So you talk about that more comfortably and say, Mr. James said I should email you. Me and him have worked before. He said you'd be a good fit for me, that I'm interested in this area. And actually, that's how I found my postdoc supervisors, through connection. And even you can even tell them to talk to each other, like tell Mr. X to talk to Mr. Y on your behalf, and things work like magic, really, with connection. Like it's amazing how you just get through and jump a few steps. You might not even do interview. There might not be any need for any advertisement, and you just jump in. So don't ever rule out connection, and that's why it's good for you to network. That's why it's good for you to keep good relationships with people, because you just don't know where you meet them, and you don't know how the future will turn out to be. And yes, guys, that's it. Those are my 5 tips for finding an academic supervisor. Like I said, I did this video because I kept getting questions, people asking me the same question over and over again, and so I hope that this video is helpful to someone. If there are any tips that you would like to share, please feel free to put them in the comment box below. And if there's anything else that you would like me to talk about or to elaborate on, please feel free to also write and comment, and then hopefully I can address it in one of my YouTube videos or respond to your comment. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and to click the like or thumbs up button if you haven't. Until next time, stay safe. Bye.